Welcome back. I was doing a teacup reading for myself this morning, and I remembered I had said to one of my subscribers I would do a teacup card reading for them. So I've got my teacup cards here, and I'm going to take a moment and shuffle and put some energy in for Polly. I don't know anything about this woman other than she has responded to a couple of my videos with some really wonderful, insights. And she seems like a happy person. But let's see what we'll say mid-July to mid-August holds in store for her. Okay, so just give me a second here to shuffle the cards. Okay, yeah, I was going to show you my teacup too. I shuffled the cards a little bit there. You got to catch a teacup right after you finish draining it and you've done all your magical energy. And I was enjoying some nettle tea and stirring it with a cinnamon stick. It really was quite nice for the meditation. And then afterwards, after this sat upside down for the whole time, I saw in the bottom there, which was really quite interesting, I think. To me, to my mind's eye, I saw this top little blurb here. It looked much like an evergreen tree that had been cut down or felled, and this one looked like a whale. So I get the idea, I think, of, sudden changes, transformations, something that was growing no longer serves me, and I need to tap into some deeper thoughts, deeper emotions with the whale. And I always think of the whale as, those creatures that have been around forever. They hold an awful lot of knowledge. So I think I'm going to be tapping into some deeper moments, deeper meditations, and I hope so, because I am working at my altar for my manifestation box. So this was the first day where I sort of activated it all and enjoyed the nettle tea, did some deep breathing, and then Polly came to mind. So that's how we got here today. So I've asked for her guides and guardians to aid me because I don't know anything about Polly. And I'm asking as I pick up these cards that it hold the most information possible that I can help her with at this time. So I'm going to put this here, move that, and let's adjust the camera so that you can hopefully see the cards. Now, I did bring in, this is my grandmother's little jug, and I've always loved it. It was on her windowsill when I was a kid and I went to stay with them. So it's got a little spout hole at the top there, a little handle, and I believe it's probably, 80 years or more old. So it sits here as a little beacon to the ancestors to help. I've got some clear quartz here for clarity. And I did bring in over here some yarrow from my garden at the past house. And that was always there by the front door. And I looked at that as such a friendly plant, happy plant. So I'm hoping this is a friendly reading, but serious. We want to know what will help Polly the most in the next month ahead. So that I like to do a pyramid. And I can just hope that all of the cards, there's one that wants to talk. So we're going to put him right there at the top. And we'll work our pyramid up to it. There's positive and negative cards within this. And we'll just see which ones are also talking amongst themselves. So, for Polly, now right at the top, as we say, this guy jumped out. It wanted to talk. And it was spilling a little bit this way, so I have to let it go that way. I don't straighten my cards out. So it's time to get out of a situation. And I think because it's a pail and it's tipped over, there's been a lot of emotions flowing out. And I haven't heard from Polly for a month or so. So I wonder what she's going through here. And I hope that she's able to release, not hold on to some of these emotions. But the cards are suggesting, it is time to get out of a situation that might be overwhelming. So let's see the bottom row here. I think it is in the camera. Let's just see. The owl. Now, if Polly, you know of someone, you trust someone that you can share things that you're going through with, the owl tells me that they have some wisdom to share with you. And it says, good advice from a wise person. All right. Now we've got the forest here. So this wise person can help clear up some of the confusion that may be going on, because it's talking about muddled, unclear thinking. And sometimes when we're involved in a situation that's emotionally overwhelming or stressing us out, or we're needing a release somehow of what these unclear ideas and how our thoughts can get, all bunched up, then this person here, and this could also be Polly herself, if she can step back from a situation and see things from a different perspective, then, it's her higher self that's helping her. That's kind of neat. Okay, we'll flip this guy. Now, this one is coming up upside down. So normally it says you're on the right path regarding some aspect of your life, but this way, Polly, it's saying that these muddled thoughts, this unclear thinking, and I think of the forest, and that saying, you can't see the forest for the trees. Things seem to be grouping here for you, and it's the realization that maybe the direction that you are heading is not right for you. And when I think of the arrow, I think of, something direct and hitting its target, but this one is not. So whatever you've been working on, whatever path you've been pursuing, they're just suggesting that it may not be the right direction. Things can change with time, but right now it seems like you're fighting something, and it could be your inner thoughts. So let's see what this one says. It's upside down too. And this is the moon card. So changes in your life. I think because the path that you're on is a little bit difficult, it's going to be hard to make those changes, but it doesn't mean you can't. You just have to turn this around again, see things from another perspective, and get back on target. And the moon is one of those watery elements for me. So if it's upside down, things might seem a little bit dire, a little bit dark, but there's no reason, because the moon travels in cycles, we can too, that we can change this and turn it around. We just have to find a little clarity, a little, I guess, ask your guides and guardians, because this owl here is like that past wisdom. And, well, all we can do is go on. Let's see what this one is. Pig, beware of greed. Now, this pig or piglet is talking to this card. So let's see where the greed lies. And it's upside down. That's the happiness card. And that really throws me for a little bit of a loop here, because what's wrong with wanting lots of happiness? And that's right at the heart of the matter. I think Polly desires, to be happy, to have things going her way, to have clarity. And I don't think that's greedy. But maybe it's just talking about you can't have it all at once. Maybe it's suggesting, find little bits of happiness that can turn this around for you. You know, I always said when I was going through difficult times, I can only do so much at a time and one step forward, and just keep putting that one step forward in order to turn things around, find my happiness again. And I want Polly to be able to do that. So, one thing at a time, ask for help if you need it, or refer to your higher guidance in order to find these moments. Because I think right at the heart of things is that need to have that peace, that calm, and, then the happiness can flow. Tortoise. Again, it's indicating that things might be slow, but surely getting ahead. But because it's upside down, taking that one step at a time, I think it's going to go easier than what you've been going through. The tortoise upside down is slow, generally, but he does have a hard shell. So anything that's been bogging you down, I think it will take a turn for the better. And you do have a sense of that protection. Maybe that comes from ancestors as you travel this pathway to happiness. Okay, now move this guy aside for a second. So, heartache over what you no longer have. Interesting. So that could refer to this as well, that she was most emotionally connected to something and she no longer has that. She has had to let it go. But I always say that, are you looking at your glass or whatever, half full or half empty? And if something isn't fulfilling you, dump it out, let it go, release, in order for you to find your happiness again. Okay. And this is the diamond, gift of jewelry. So I would say that the diamond upside down also echoes this, that diamonds usually bring clarity, and they're hard. And they're usually a sign of connection to someone else or another event. So again, lack of clarity. It feels like it's not a gift. You want to be happy, one step at a time. Things will change. Get yourself back on track and find that voice within you or someone that you trust that can help you move forward. That's a very difficult reading. So she's next to the diamond here too, with this liquid pouring out, which could be her emotions. And if she has shared that sharing, wow, that sharing can be hard. And even though she's sharing, she may not find the clarity or understanding that she's looking for. This seems to me like she's really soul searching. And the heart of the matter is finding her happiness. So let's take that one card and see, how does she move forward? What is the best method for her to move forward and find some happiness? Any words of wisdom from her guides, her guardians? Okay. So stepping into a new experience can be difficult, but problems to be resolved. Oh, well, that's good. And when I think of ink, I think the spilling out of words. So if words have been said, once they're said, we can't take them back. And that can also be an experience that we realize that, maybe I overspoke, I oversaid, I shared too much. But knowing that it's off your chest, that you said what you needed to say, then you move forward. So problems are to be resolved. And some of that can be, as I say, just releasing, letting go of the emotions, letting the words all flow, and maybe even journaling. Journaling is not the answer to everything, no, but sometimes writing that letter to ourselves, and if there was anything that you held back, if you can put it in a letter, then at least it's off your chest. And then maybe you do a little ritual where it's done. You let the paper that you wrote on burn away, and you just think of that candle and that new phase as being lighting your way forward. So, Polly, I send this out to you. If you're in a difficult situation, if you can reach out to someone that you trust, even if it's not just yourself, trust your thoughts, trust your intuition, say what needs to be said, get it done, get it over, and move forward, because happiness is in the center of it. And we want you to turn that around. Okay? So, putting that out there, take it with, that grain of salt. If nothing makes sense to you, just let it go. I don't have a strong connection other than what I could try to build today, because I don't know you, but sometimes that's better, because we can honestly just look at the cards and not let what we know influence the situation. Okay? Best wishes, and if you want to reach out, if any of this makes sense, let me know. So this was a reading for Polly.